Okay, in this video I'm going to show you how to assemble a wall pie cut cabinet. The pieces you'll get when you open the two boxes, you'll have a floor and a ceiling with the splines already applied. You'll have two large back panels. You'll have one small back panel that ties the two large ones together. And you just got to make sure when you put your large back panels in that you orient it right so that this V groove, each large one has a V groove cut into one end, one side. And what that's for is to be able to apply this little center back panel that ties the two together. And it'll fit like that. So you need to have the two large panels with the V groove facing the back center of your wall cabinet. So before I glue or start assembling anything, I always like to check my dovetails. When you put the cabinet together, you got a finished face, unfinished. So all your finished pieces face into the cabinet. That way after it's assembled, you'll have a pre-finished interior of your cabinet. So what I do is the dovetail, I check it in the female groove, and if it's tight from moisture, humidity in your house, or if it's sat around a while before you put it together, real simple. Take a sanding block, set on the dovetail, and hit it with the sanding block. It knocks a little bit off, and then just double check all your pieces. That slides in, that's beautiful. You don't want to have to force it, hit it. All you're going to do is damage and get aggravated. That's too hard to put together. So all our pieces, I checked them, we're good. Another thing in the box is you're going to have a two-piece front frame, and it's not screwed together, pre-drilled or nothing, so you actually have to assemble it. And what you want to do is butt the short end of the frame into the long end of the frame, line it up nice and flush, pre-drill it, countersink it, and screw it together. I already assembled this one. So this is a lot more involved than a standard wall cabinet, so I'm not going to talk as much. Just watch what I do and you'll put your cabinet together just as easy. So you want to take your frame after it's together, put a bead of glue, and grab one of the floors or ceilings. I guess I should be using a rubber mallet instead of my hand. Don't worry about any glue that runs out. I'll show you when it's together what to do with that. Okay, we got our floor and ceiling into our front frame. Next thing we want to do is front frame where it's plowed out to accept the sides. And then also you want to glue the female edge. You only want to go about halfway, because as you push this down, it's going to push the glue. So again, the splines go down into the frame. Rubber mallet again. Just repeat the same process on the other side panel. Same thing, you glue halfway, a little more than halfway, and your female dovetail. Grooves, splines go down towards the frame. I always like to check where the sides go into the frame. You want them nice and flush with your front frame. So you can adjust that a little bit. Just a slight tap or two. This one's right on. The next step would be to slide your back panels in. You want to glue the groove that accepts the back panel, and you got to remember that the V groove is going to be facing this little back section, so we can apply that last little center back panel. So before you put it on, you want to go ahead and glue the groove in your side, and then the same thing, you want to glue a little over halfway on your back panel. And you are going to get some glue that drips, but like I said, don't get all excited about it. Repeat the same process on your other back panel. Okay, we glued that. Okay, we're good there. A little glue running there, not a big deal. From the factory, I think you can see this, there'll be a mark where you're going to shoot with either a pin nailer or a staple gun through the back into your floor and ceiling. And then on the sides, what I like to do before I assemble is I take and use a pencil and a square, and I mark where I'm going to shoot through the side into the back through the side into the floor and ceiling. So I just want to double check that we line up nice with our frame. Okay, we're all good. And here's the pencil marks that I did before I assembled anything. Okay. And just keep repeating the same process. I like to shoot my sides into my floor and ceiling. Once that's done, I like to shoot through the back into my floor and ceiling. Okay, then the last piece that goes in is this small back panel that connects your two large backs. Okay, with that, I'm going to put a little glue in there. Just double checking. The only thing I didn't shoot was through the sides into the large back panels. Same thing, I'll put a pencil mark on there before I build it. That way you're not guessing, because you don't want to shoot through the inside of your cabinet. And there's a wall pie cut cabinet. You can see there's a little glue that come out in different places. Real simple to clean. Have a little bucket of clean water, a rag. I like to use a 5-in-1 to get into the corners. On the back, I don't really need the 5-in-1 because it's not a true 90-degree corner. So you clean that glue. And then anywhere the glue squeezed out, and that's it. Like I said, it's a little more involved than a basic wall cabinet because you got the extra back, you got the center back piece, and it just takes a little more time. But if you just take your time, use common sense, you can see how easy this goes together. And I like to set them on carts on their actual back. And what I do is I set it off on a cart, let it dry, and later on I'll show you how to install the doors. But that's pretty basic for a wall pie cut cabinet. Just take your time and it'll go together fine. Any questions, you can always call me and I can walk you through it. It's not a big deal. I'm always available to answer any questions. And that's it.